Hi there everyone, Ewan here. I've got quite a few storm cookers. The Trangia 27, one of my favourites. I've had it for years. It just works. My personalised Trangia 25, a lovely piece of kit. The Meta 50, which I showed last week. Solid fuel, and it was Meta that provided the inspiration for Trangia's 25 and 27. And the Swedish military Ranger stove or Jaeger stove based on an Optimus. And here's another one that has joined the stable. The Optimus 81 Trapper. And we'll just check to see how much it weighs in grams. So the whole thing combined is 1,044 grams. So over a kilo in weight for the stove. It's a beast. As you can see, it's been well used. Still has what I think is the original strap. And we'll just start taking it to bits, unpacking it, and we'll show you exactly what makes this storm cooker a possible contender or competitor for the Trangia. Now inside we have the grab handle, some O-ring lubrication, I'll get onto that later, a plastic box. As you can see, it's moulded so it fits onto this rod here. It's a fuel measure. It says, can we see this? This fuel measure contains 1 decalitre, 13.4 US fluid ounces. Fill the stove with 3 measures when empty. And then the same in, I presume it's Swedish. So already it's looking different from the storm cookers that we're used to. An upper windshield, similar to the Swedish Army Ranger stove, and 2 very clean pots, all made of aluminium. And the lid, we just move this over here, has this diamond pattern, doubles up as a frying pan or as a lid. And they all work with the pot grabber, as we can see. So we'll just put the pots over there just now, and we'll bring in the base of the storm cooker. On the side here, there is a retained screw, obviously retained by the chain so you don't lose it. It has a rubber O-ring And we'll just give that a little bit of a lubrication as well. And we'll just stick that on, just to keep it nice and clean. This is a weep valve to control the amount of fuel that you have in it. If you overfill it, it allows the alcohol, the surplus alcohol, to drip out the side and keep it at the required level. That also means that if you ever lose the fuel measure, you can fill the stove until the weep valve starts to overflow, and then you know that you have enough fuel in it. At the side, we have this lever which slides to and fro. And on the top, as you can see, there are no burner holes at all in here. There is this cap which would seal off this chimney here, if we can see that. And you're saying to yourself, well, it's just a plastic cap. This actually pulls out, and this is the reason that I have the O-ring lubrication in there. It's just to keep these O-rings nice and lubricated so they don't dry out and don't crack, as it's these that prevent the fuel vapor being released in transit. Now, those of you that aren't acquainted with the Trapper are probably asking, well, why we got a plastic tube down the middle? This is like it doses the burner. You fill into the top there, close it, wait, and then it will charge up the burner. Charge up is probably the best way of explaining it. If we turn it upside down, which you can do safely with this, even with a stove with a full amount of fuel, this is like an Origo 1500 or Origo 3000 marine stove. This is full of wadding, and there is no fuel sloshing around. When you fill up the burner, a donut, a ring of wadding will soak up the fuel, rather like the wadding that is in a Trangia burner in the wall that you don't see. But this is everywhere, and it does not have liquid at all. And then when you go to use it, it releases the alcohol vapor, which is lit. These are often, these sort of, like the Origos, are used in marine stoves where you will get, where it's not level, where you get rough water, so you don't get spillage. And basically, to control simmering and boiling, we have this flap controlled by the lever on the side. And I doubt you'll be able to see, you might just see, can you just see in there the red? I can remove it. You can see the bottom of the dosing plastic pipe. So as you open that, it means that the hole is completely, that's it, completely open. So you're getting full power. And this slides across as a simmer ring and reduces the amount of air that is entering and therefore the amount of flame that you have. It means you do not need to fiddle around with a simmer ring, and you don't need to put your hand anywhere near the hot burner. These work very well when the air is into the wind, the air holes, just like on a Trangia 25 or 27. But your control mechanism is so much easier to control. Now I'm just going to move this over a little bit to here to the side. We have our usual 300 mils of water. I'll just take off the windshield. And it says, the fuel measure contains 1 DL. Fill the stove with 3 measures when empty. Now, when I bought this, I don't know if this is completely empty. It definitely smells as if it's empty. I could use the weep valve to double check. So we'll just undo the weep valve. So we won't be using the filler at the moment, as we don't know how full this is. Okay, I'll just put in some more. It takes a lot of fuel. And we'll just let that go in. Okay. I put in about 200 mils, I would think, of fuel there, so we're just going to leave it at that and let this get tightened up. Now, we've charged it up with fuel. We'll take this out, put it aside. Now, like all storm cookers, it has the upper windshield. Unlike Optimus, Meta, and etc., there are no metal supports inside for the pot. Instead, the pot rests on its lip. There are also as you can see, no way of securing it on the top. Now, I'm going to move this slightly to the side, try and keep it away from my camera. We'll open it up fully. And we'll switch off the lights. As you can see there, quite a high flame. And if we just turn it down, there we are. You can see how much we can control it. High, low. So we'll keep it on low at the moment. I'll just quickly show you the flame and we'll raise it up just a tad. And you can see there. Let's see how long it takes to boil water. We'll just put the lid on. Now that's it, had 1 minute. Now hopefully the microphone is picking that up. You should be able to hear the water starting to make some noise, so let's have a quick look. We're only at about 4 minutes and the water is boiling. Now we'll just let it down to simmer. I usually keep a hold of it there. And there we have it. Hopefully you can see how that has changed. I'll just put the light on. So that's it down at a simmer. And we'll increase it to a boil. And you can see just how well you can regulate this stove. Right down to the minimum. And back up to boiling again. All within less than 4 minutes. Now you're asking me, well, how do you snuff it out? Well, the best way, you could try blowing it out, but the best way is just to put the pot on it. And there we have it. It's snuffed out. Now, obviously use the pot grabber to take off this. It gets hot. It's a stove. Okay, pros and cons. So, if we weigh my Trangia 27, which is a similar size, mine is a 27K, so we'll take the kettle out. We'll just have the same components as this one: burner, 2 pots, frying pan, strap, pot holder, and I've included the cloth just to have a similar weight to the O-ring sealant. What do we get? 730 grams. This is 300 grams heavier. we're using this. If we're using this, we have a stove that is 300 grams heavier than the equivalent Trangia. Both were weighed without fuel. Why would anybody use this? It's an extremely fast boiler. Highly controllable. We all saw how it went from simmer to full boil at just the movement of a metal rod. Technically, it's spill proof, which is an advantage it has over the Trangia. Though, when you are filling it, liquid can spill out from underneath when you're filling. Technically, you shouldn't be able to overfill it due to the weep valve, although they weren't on older models. I've just turned it upside down. All we got was some dust. So what are my thoughts on the stove? Yes, it's heavy, but it's a fast boiler. It has more mechanical parts that could jam than a Trangia, although a very simple mechanism, as we can see underneath. Keep that bit in good nick. If needs be, add a little bit of grease to the bottom. This stuff goes down to -40 to +250 degrees C. So I would use that just to lubricate that as well as the O-rings. So the only downside I can see with this is its weight. It does hold its fuel well, and it holds 300 mils, 3 decaliters of fuel, which is enough. Like the Trangia, you have to wait until it cools down before you can put it all back together. This one, basically, you have to wait until this bit has cooled down completely. It's quite quick. And then you can pop back in the easy fill tube. Is it a competitor for Trangia? Well, one, it's discontinued. You can't buy these anymore except for second hand, which is such a shame. The mechanism is so good. It's so adjustable, the flame. I just love it. I would take this away with me. I would put up with the extra weight. It's stable. It'll work in high winds. I don't really like the frying pan, but I don't use a frying pan much. I would just use it as a lid. I could probably replace it with a Trangia frying pan. It would probably fit. But why do that? Everything in this is original. Everything is the way it should be. What do you think of it? Does it give the Trangia 27 and 25 a run for its money? Do you like the simmer control? Is it too heavy? Let me know in the comments and we'll get a discussion going about this. Now next week will be another Trangia. So, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching everybody, I really appreciate it, and bye bye for now. Bye bye.